What's up, everybody, and welcome to Badurday Reviews. Today we're looking at the 1983 Sci-Fi Caveman mashup, You're the Hunter from the Future. Directed by Anthony M. Dawson, starring Reb Brown's glistening chest, the world's most capable grandpa, and the greatest theme song this side of Queen. Our story begins with Yor cruising around alone in the desert, basking in his glistening gloriousness and listening to his awesome theme song. He comes across a woman and her grandpa who are out hunting, and he, fights a dinosaur? After rescuing Pog and Kala, they comment on his golden bronze medallion.
It's a strange piece of metal.
An elder tells Yor he's seen one just like it, worn by a woman amongst the desert people. With that exposition dump out of the way, Yor is invited back to their village for whatever this is. During the celebration, the village is beset by a bunch of two-eyed, no-horned, average-sized purple people. Yor does his best to fend them off, but it goes about as well as you'd imagine. While on the run from the purple people, Yor and Kala get cornered, so Grandpa tries to lend a hand. Yor's defeated and thrown off a cliff. Which doesn't even faze the guy. He just climbs back up the cliff and meets up with Grandpa, letting him know Kala's been kidnapped. The two of them scout out the purple people's cave, but it's too heavily defended to enter by force, so Yor enters the only way he knows how, like a complete badass. During the ensuing battle, Grandpa lends a hand. Yor floods the bad guy's cave and reunites with Kala and Pog. So much for the rest of the captives. They wander around in the desert like old times when Yor tells them he's off to find the desert woman who has a similar medallion to his. Yor is then accosted and kidnapped by fire mummies. While held captive, Yor meets Roa, and they decide their medallions make them a different race from everyone else, and they should team up and find their homeland. On the sacrificial altar, Yor breaks free and kills the mummies with his flaming sword of doom. After the mummy massacre, Yor introduces his two new girlfriends, which goes about as well as you'd imagine.
Only one of us can belong to him. You cannot understand. I understand that one of us must die.
The purple people resurface and bonk Roa on the head, and Yor finally gets his revenge. Roa dies conveniently, ending the love triangle, but not before telling Yor he should seek out his people towards the sea. Upon arriving, Yor helps some locals trapped in a cave by fighting another dinosaur. Grandpa lends a hand. The people he saved are so grateful they take Yor and friends to their village, where they are promptly offered to Yor as a new wife.
Tarita and the little ones are my children. According to our custom, Tarita's life now belongs to you. She will be your mate.
Take me with you, stranger.
The villagers throw Yor a sweet luau to welcome him, during which Grandpa goes to investigate a weird box they were shown earlier, and Yor is taken off by the women of the village to, well, that's never quite explained. While they're away, the village starts exploding. Yor and company rush back, but it goes about as well as you'd imagine. Yor is given a boat to sail to a mysterious island, which they promptly crash into. Yor's taken captive by robots, but not before putting up a hell of a fight. We're then introduced to the Overlord, a Dr. Doom knockoff who's mainly here to chew scenery and tell us about his vague genetic engineering plans.
You bring me peace. This record must be analyzed.
Pog and Kala are found by a resistance movement who explain that they've been told the world's a barren nuclear wasteland, but now they have proof there is life outside the island, so Yor can lead them to freedom. Yor makes a daring escape from the Overlord.
The welcome that they deserve. The girl's record will be analyzed and the savage killed.
After wandering around for a while, Yor reunites with Kala, and the Overlord monologues his plan to them.
They are part of my military power. I will create technicians, scientists, magnificent minds who will all think according to my will.
The rebels break Yor and Kala free, and they all run around a factory set while firing lasers at the androids, while the Overlord shouts various Dr. Doom-isms to nobody in particular.
Those fools think they can beat me, the Overlord.
The rebels plan to overload the island's reactor, but while planting the bomb, Yor gets stuck on the other side of a fiery pit, so Grandpa lends a hand. The rebellion's blind old leader somehow makes his way to the android control center and powers the computer off, forcing the Overlord out of his throne room to power down the reactor manually. Yor chases the Overlord but gets blinded, and rather than letting Grandpa lend a hand, he kills him with a convenient candy cane. The rebels and Yor fight their way to escape the bomb blast, killing androids as they go. Grandpa lends a hand. They all pile into an escape jet, the Overlord goes up with the reactor, and the film ends with a fiery explosion as that amazing theme song kicks in once again. Yor is a lot of fun, but the word that best describes it is uneven. There are moments where you'll be rolling on the floor laughing at the special effects or entertained by a caveman trying to figure out how to kill a robot with a laser gun, but there are also long stretches, especially early in the film, where little happens other than walking around in the desert waiting for the next story beat to happen. Yor thankfully ends very strongly as the most outrageous ideas it has all come together in the final 20 minutes or so of the film, and that theme song is so catchy you'll be humming it for weeks. Fans of B-movies will find a lot of enjoyment with Yor, but because of its slow start and downtime between the action, you may want a little help to get you through to the good parts, which is why I'm giving Yor, the Hunter from the Future, my Badurday rating of Liquid Courage. Well, that's all the time we have this Badurday. If you like the review, give it a thumbs up. Maybe think about subscribing. And if you have a B-movie you'd like to see reviewed here, let me know about it down in the comments.